Shalom again from remote Yerushalayim. We've come to the end of a series of Parashios dealing with the construction of the Mishkan, the dwelling place for the Rabbonu Shalom, for God in the Midbar. The chief architects of the Beis HaMikdash that we're introduced to are Moshe Rabbeinu from Shevet Levi, Betzalel from Shevet Yehuda, and Ohaliah from Shevet Dan. And while it might be simple to understand why it is that Moshe, being who he was as an individual and being from Shevet Levi, amongst the chosen of the Jewish people, and Betzalel from Shevet Yehuda, from whom come the kings, also important people amongst Knesset Yisrael, we're left wondering how Ohaliah from Shevet Dan, a tribe that repeatedly gets kicked out of the Ananei HaKavod, we're told by Chazal that they came through Kriyas Yamsuf holding an idol. We would think that we could do without someone from Shevet Dan building the house of God. To answer the question, we need to turn to someone who is able to plumb to the depths of the Jewish heart and soul, none other than Rav Tzadok HaKohen of Lublin. Rav Tzadok explained that despite what we might have thought, there is a place even for idolatry in the Jewish religion. Rav Tzadok explained that when a Jew comes to put on tefillin, to light Shabbos candles, to build a house for God, we're met with this feeling of, how can I do something for Hashem? It would seemingly be impossible to do something for Hashem, who is the first cause, who repeatedly creates the world over and over again every second. One could even call it heretical to think that it would be possible for me to do something for Hashem. There comes a voice inside of a Jewish person that calls out from the depths and says that even though everything is telling me that it's impossible to do something for Hashem, maybe I can sanctify this idolatrous feeling of I can do something for God, a seemingly impossible task. And so, whenever there's going to be a construction of a Mishkan, or later in Tanakh, when we build the Beis HaMikdash, it will always be a partnership between someone from Yehuda, who the Gemara says, we're called Yehudim because anyone who is kofer in Avodah Zarah, anyone who denies the premise of there being multiple gods, is called a Yehudi. You can think of Mordechai HaYehudi from Shushan, who refuses to bow to Haman. To be a Yehudi means to deny the premise of Avodah Zarah. But the Mishkan and the Beis HaMikdash later also needs someone from Shevet Dan. Because when Yehuda comes and says, who could build a house for God? Is it not heretical to think that you could build a house of bricks and mortar, of sticks and stones for God? You need someone from Shevet Dan to say, we can do something for Hashem, even though that seems idolatrous. And in doing so, sanctifying even something as small, as petty, as coarse as idolatry, the work of one's own hands. When it comes to our personal service of Hashem, building a Mishkan in our life, building the Mishkan in our home, building the Mishkan in our shul, building the Mishkan in the Beis Medrash when we're sitting and learning, there's always a voice that comes from a holy place of Yehuda that says, I can do something for Hashem, I can't do anything for Hashem. But there's also a part inside of every Jew which comes from Shevet Dan. That can fall into a very low place, but if used in the proper way, Rav Tzadok teaches us, we can override that feeling that it's impossible for me to do something for Hashem, which is true on a certain level. And we can sanctify idolatry to say, I can act for Hashem, I can do for Hashem. May Hashem give us the strength to know how to use the amazing koach of Shevet Dan in the right way, at the right time, and to stay far away from the koach of Shevet Dan at the wrong time. But as we're going into these last moments before Mashiach, we're told that this period that we live in is called the Ikv de Mashiach, the footsteps of Mashiach. The Ekev means that lowest part of the body, Dan, who is the back of the Machane, who travel all the way in the back. We are the Ikv de Mashiach, and there's a big part of us that says, If the earlier generations couldn't do it, if the Chafetz Chaim couldn't bring Mashiach, if the Baal Shem Tov, if the Vilna Gaon couldn't bring Mashiach, if the Rambam, Ravina, and Rav Ashi couldn't bring Mashiach, how could we bring Hashem into the world? Hashem is too big, Hashem is too great. Hashem should help us to access that place of Shevet Dan and to bring Him into the world. And that merit will be Zochet to the day when Hashem's glory fills the Beis HaMikdash yet again, and we will partner together with Mashiach from Shevet Yehuda in welcoming Hashem's kingdom back into this world. Shabbos.